Yo, what's good with it? It's your boy, Mr. Wilson, and you are now tuned in to Wilson Block 100 Radio, and we got a very special guest on the block with us today, Miss Rose Robinson. How you doing?
Hey, how you doing? How's everybody doing out there?
We're doing great. We're very glad to have you here for this exclusive interview with
Absolutely.
the Wilson Block.
All right.
How you been?
I'm good. I'm feeling pretty good today.
Okay, no doubt. Yeah, we talked to you earlier. You were running back and forth to John Muir.
Yes. Yes.
So, for our audience reading this, can you just give us a quick background on yourself?
I am the youngest daughter of Mack Robinson, silver medalist, came in second to Jesse Owens back in '36.
Yes, ma'am.
And so what the world and what a lot of people know about Daddy, I don't know that. I just know strict, and we had guidelines and things that we had to do as grown up. Yes, he was a huge disciplinarian. Yes.
And he was very involved in the community.
Very involved in the community. He actually worked as a truant officer at John Muir High School and at Foothill. I think it was called Foothill. I just took a Foothill Community.
Yeah, something like that.
School back in the day. Yes.
Okay, and was he involved in the community before he was doing the athletic thing?
I believe so. I mean, there's a big age difference with my parents, and so I came in. I'm the younger. I would say my dad's been married before, so my mom is actually number 5. So Daddy actually had 10 children. So I'm number 9. I'm the youngest girl, and just throughout my childhood. There was a lot. We were involved a lot with community. We used to collect clothes. Daddy used to have clothing drives that we would send back down to Georgia because he was born in Cairo, Georgia.
Right.
And a couple of times the loads were too big. We had, I think it was van lines would drive the clothes down. Well, Lockheed took over because they're like, we got, the South needs the clothes, the families, quicker than the van lines can get down there. So Lockheed actually came over and flew a couple of shipment loads, tons of clothes down there that we had collected over the years. And this is when I was little, maybe 3, 4.
Oh, wow. You remember that?
So that's what I remember.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So how was life growing up is Altadena, right?
Pasadena.
Oh, Pasadena. So right there on Pepper. Was that the family house? Or?
Pepper is where my grandmother lived. So when my parents...
It's 121 Pepper, right?
I believe that's the address.
Right. Yeah.
So they grew up on Pepper Street. When my grandmother came here with her 5 children, which was Uncle Edgar Robinson, my cousin, my Uncle Frank. Then there's Daddy. Then there was Aunt Willamay.
Okay.
And then Uncle Jackie.
Oh, nice.
And Aunt Willamay was very, very involved in the seniors in Pasadena, so we used to do Thanksgiving dinners out of the Jackie Robinson Center.
Oh, wow. So that was around back then?
Oh, yes.
Wow.
Yes, that building was dedicated, I believe, in the 70s, and we actually used to cook dinner and serve the seniors who could not come out of their rest homes or out of their homes, so there would be cousins, other family members that would go and deliver dinners, but then those that could come out, we would serve them. So Aunt Willamay had the nieces and nephews and cousins serve the seniors as they came in.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes.
That just shows me how young I am. Because,
yes.
I see Robinson Center today, and I think, it was done, probably in 90,
No, it's actually a building that was donated for the purpose of the, to help the community. The recreation, I also sit on the Robinson Steering Committee with the City of Pasadena. I've been on there for almost 8 years, and we're actually in the process of doing a groundbreaking ceremony because that building will be renovated. And
now the park part or the center?
The center where the gym is and where the weight room, so we're going to do a groundbreaking, so that's going to be totally renovated.
Oh, wow.
So that's
going to knock it all down.
It's coming all the way down, and a new one's being built. So you can always go on the City of Pasadena's website and type in Robinson Park, and you will see all of the updates as to what's going on with the renovation project.
Right.
Yes.
Okay, so you weren't here when he was when he was down at whoa, that was a big pine cone.
Yeah.
So when he had already, you weren't born yet when he did the Olympic thing.
No, the ironic thing is that when Daddy won in 1936, my mom was only 3 years old.
Oh wow.
So
that puts it in perspective.
Yes. So when I was born, I think Daddy was 53. However, I grew up listening to all of the stories. Actually, when Uncle Jackie passed away, I was only 8 years old. However, I remember a lot.
And have you met him?
I remember meeting him, yes.
I know he wasn't around so much, right?
Well, Uncle Jackie and Aunt Rachel, they lived in Connecticut.
Oh, okay.
So they were here. The last time Uncle Jackie was here alive was in, I believe, June of '72 when they retired his number at Dodger Stadium. I remember seeing Roy Campanella, Don Newcomb, Sandy Koufax. And we're kids. We're cousins, so we're running all over Dodger Stadium.
Wow.
We're just like, oh, there's Uncle Jackie, and we're running over, just having
Brooklyn
a ball.
At this time.
Yes.
So that's why they were living in Connecticut.
At the time he played.
Oh, 72. So the Dodgers moved in 50s, right?
When Uncle Jackie played, it was for the Brooklyn Dodgers. Then the Dodgers moved out and became the L.A. Dodgers.
Right.
Yes.
And so that's where they did the commemorative.
When they retired Uncle Jackie's number in '72 was in L.A.
Wow.
Dodger Stadium. Yes.
And they retired his number across all teams.
Yes. So
yeah.
they had patented to where no other sport can use. If they didn't have number 42, they could not use it.
Well, even other sports, like
correct.
Really?
Correct.
Wow.
Yes.
So I guess being the first African American athlete inducted into the Hall of Fame wasn't enough. I mean that's it goes deeper than that.
Yes, we need to make a statement. Yeah.
Right. So that's awesome. I really wish I could have met Jackie Robinson and even Mack too. But so generally, how was life growing up in Pasadena? I mean, what schools you went to?
I went to Blair High School. Well, I went to Cleveland Elementary.
Okay.
I went to San Rafael for I think first grade, second grade. Went to Cleveland, McKinley Junior High. Graduated from Blair in 1982. And I mean, we were regular, normal, whatever that is today. Both parents in the house. There was always kids around. A lot of times people didn't have a place to stay. So back in those days, in the 70s, we didn't just have regular sofas. Our sofas, you had to have a corner bed or there was a pull-out sofa. So because someone always needed some place to stay. There was no homeless like it is today.
Yeah.
But someone was always staying with us at some point. But it was pretty normal. We had to get up. Daddy was very strict. We had to do yard work. There's no cartoons on Saturday morning. We were pulling weeds, picking up dogs, and just taking care of our chores.
Right. That's good. I actually, appreciate Robinson for being that because, you got to mold your kids, you know what I mean? So, good parenting.
Yes. Yeah.
So, without further ado, I really want to get into your latest project.
Okay.
You've have a very compelling story.
Yes.
And go ahead and tell us about it.
So basically, in a nutshell, I was owned my own business, working out of my home, and I needed health care. And so in 2013, I applied for Obamacare, which I knew it was coming up. And so once my policy became approved, January 1st of 2014, I was, so excited. So now,
what was that date?
January 1st of 2014.
Okay.
2014, Obamacare came in, so I was able to get under Covered California my health insurance. 3 weeks to my dismay, I realized that I had to have my tonsils out. So thankfully, I could go to a nice hospital, and my tonsils came out. The pathology report showed that I had non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. And so I think my life changed, April 3rd of 2015 because my son was getting married. My second son was getting married a month later.
Wow.
But with the Obamacare, I was able to start my see an oncologist, start chemotherapy within the week, had 3 rounds. Then I was able to go to USC Radiology to get 17 rounds of radiation, like chemo and radiation.
So is that painful?
Radiation was not painful. It's just like you go in and take a chest X-ray. But what happens is my radiation was probably no more than 3.5 minutes. So literally my first radiation, they were playing "Beat It" by Michael Jackson. So by the time my first appointment was over for radiation, the song was done. The only thing, the side effect from that, became very tired, and you may experience just tiredness and fatigue.
Drowsiness.
Not so much drowsiness, but just tired, like you're just walking across the desert. A lot of fatigue. The biggest thing is when I started my chemotherapy, right before the nurse started the injection, God said, you need to write. I said, thank you for this insurance. And he told me, you need to write your president a thank you note, but put it in a song. And I did. I started writing, and I took it to my producer, and we worked on it. Sometimes I couldn't do the whole session in the studio, but in between my treatments and my son getting married and coming back, we were able to really go through what I wanted to say, and then my producer, who's highly gifted, put the music to it, and it was just amazing.
So you had already wrote the lyrics first?
I had started out with an idea. I told my producer, which is Juan Tyus, I said, Juan, this is what I hear, a thank you, Mr. President. And so as I said it, I began to sing it. Then I wanted to make sure that the words were concrete. So I started off saying, you made a way, for me to say, thank you, Mr. President. And we said, no, I wanted to use the word, you paved a way. I wanted some concrete lyrics. So we worked on it. It's copywritten now. It's done. I'm working on a video to go with it.
Nice.
So by the help of a very dear friend, childhood friend, now council person, John Kennedy, we were able to get the song through MP3 file in our president, Mr. Obama's inbox.
Oh, wow. It made it.
So when he had a chance,
he checked it out.
He did, and he did send me a thank you email.
Nice.
I think I got it on December 30th of 2016.
Oh, just recently? Just
recently. So I do have that.
Oh, that was nice because he was still president then.
Yes, absolutely. And so now I'm just in the process of, now I have the physical CD and the booklet to get that to him. But I also want to speak out about how much Obamacare and health care is needed.
Yeah. That's the underlying message of it all, right?
It's needed. And if I didn't have it, I don't know where I would have gotten my care from. I don't know if I would have gotten as good as care or as immediate care. Because with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma, it spreads very, very fast. So I had stage 2. But I was hesitant to get my surgery. So had I not gotten my surgery, or when Rose decided she wanted to have surgery, it could have been maybe after my son's wedding, and it could have been stage 4. I don't know.
Right.
So I'm a Christian. I'm a believer. I listen to God as much as I can, and when He says do something, I try to be obedient, which is a challenge. It's a day-to-day thing. But that was my heartfelt commission, was to put it in a song and complete it, and that was my job, and that was my goal for 2016.
Right.
So the song was completed. We got it copywritten in October in 16.
Okay. Nice.
And it's on MP3 file. Yes.
So when he actually replied to your email, how did you feel?
I cried. I was shaking.
I would have too.
When it said from the White House, I'm like, I opened up my email. I'm like,
it was too good to
White
be
House.
true.
I'm like, so I'm crying. I'm listening to it, and I'm just shaking. I'm sitting there, and I began to just remember. But I remembered the compassion that he has for the health of our nation.
Yeah.
and how important it is. And without that care, I wouldn't be here.
Right.
Without that care, I may have missed my son's wedding. My son and his wife now.
Oh, you were able to catch it.
I was there. My son and his wife, they just had their first baby, so I'm a new grandmother.
Uh-oh.
My granddaughter Devin is,
Congrats.
6.5 weeks old.
Wow.
I was able to be there, and I'm thankful for that.
Absolutely.
So we need our health care.
Right.
We need it.
So you were releasing this song as Rose Robinson, or?
Actually, my oldest sister Lorraine, I have to give her props. She always called me Rosemarie.
Okay.
And so
I like how that sounds.
in Instagram, it's under rosemariesounds.com. But I will probably be changing it because a high school friend told me that it's easier if I just say Rose Robinson.
Yeah.
So that's a work in progress.
Yeah, and it's more identifiable.
Yes, and it's more identifiable. Yeah. And maybe then I'll toss my middle name in there, which is from my aunt who's an opera singer. So.
Now, is this the first time you've made a song?
Oh no, I've been singing since I was little.
Yeah, because I thought the vocals were nice.
Growing up in church, and then I did solos in church, and I was actually in a band back in high school with some of local residents here, Pasadena. One of our band members back in the day, he is in law enforcement. One's now a pastor, but we all stay in touch. It's been, about 40 plus years.
Oh, wow.
So we're trying to get a reunion together, but
okay.
I've been singing all my life.
So have you ever, put together an album or anything? Or?
We tried back in the day. We were pretty young, 16, 17, and then we all kind of graduated from high school and went our separate ways. I've done weddings. I've done women's luncheons. The church I was active with very much back in late 80s, early 90s in Pasadena. I did solos. I did solos, which we called special music at a church out in Covina.
What's the name of the church in Pasadena?
So we formed a solos bureau, and that's just women who, or just men as well. We just came together and did a special song before the pastor got up and gave his message. I did weddings, some songs for homegoing services, but I'm very sensitive in that area, so I would only do it for a family member, someone very close.
Right.
Very, very close.
So you definitely have performance experience.
Yes. Yes. So right now, now that this song is almost, the song is complete. We're just working on the video, and I have many other projects. What made me put my other projects aside was that, in one of the scriptures, I don't know where it is, but it says, "Sing unto the Lord a new song." Well, I was working on songs that had already been done. There's one song I wanted to give it a soulful feel. I had one song redone, and I sang at my sister-in-law's wedding, and I sang at several weddings, but they had been done already.
Yeah.
And so that's why God said, write a thank you, put it in a song, and it has to be new. It has to be fresh.
Yeah.
It needs to be. It's okay to redo something and somebody sing another song, but this is fresh. I've already sent it to my uncle down in Georgia who has a Black History Museum. James Jack Hadley out of Thomasville, Georgia, has a Black History Museum, and he told me, niece, the whole world needs to hear this song. So that's what I've been working on.
Nice. So I know we might have you might have mentioned it already, but what is the overall mission behind the song?
The main mission was to say thank you. It's just for President Obama to open up his mail and get a thank you card from me. Thanking him for Obamacare, thanking for fighting for it, for sending the bill, and just open up a card and says thank you, Rose Robinson, California.
Yeah, nice. But
instead, it's in a song.
Right. Very elaborate. So, presidents, they get a lot of scrutiny. They're under a lot of pressure. How do you feel Barack Obama has performed during his term?
I think he's done excellent. I think that for any man of color to achieve, whether he's president of the company,
Right.
whether he is, just got a job, got promoted,
Right.
there's going to be challenges.
Yeah.
I grew up listening to all of the heartaches and disappointments and the struggles. And I also am very close to my roots down in Georgia because that is where we originally come from,
Right.
Thomasville, Thomas County, Georgia, Cairo, Georgia.
Right.
And I often go back there. My family actually, we're from, when people think of slavery and they think of, they were out doing cotton. Well, cotton was the only plantation. There was a dairy farm. So my family actually comes from the dairy farm.
Okay.
And so my grandfather actually was a slave, but he was a chauffeur. So we have, again, a plantation where he was the chauffeur. That means he had to be dressed to the T every time. The car had to be clean. So that's kind of the slavery lineage that I come from.
Interesting.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't even want to mention the new president, but definitely, I personally, I think Barack Obama did fairly well, and to be the first president that I was legally able to vote for.
Yes.
It was good to kind of see him, come do his thing and just see everything transpire.
Yes.
What message do you want to send out there to, other people who might be struggling with cancer or other diseases?
I think what I learned being a patient, first of all, after getting over the shock, once you find out you have an illness, no matter what it is, mental health, see if there is a section in that office or within that clinic or hospital where you can get counseling, mental health, because that's what I did. I did have cancer counseling, which helped me. So once I realized and accepted that I was a cancer patient, I could just go and wait for my turn for therapy and have a conversation with someone else and totally not judge them. Because maybe before I was and I didn't know if someone had cancer, they had, whatever the cancer was, but how did I get it? I have no idea. But I have to go through treatment. How did my other former patient co-patient, have it? What happened? I can't sit here and say, it's because he ate this or he drank this or we don't know.
You can't pinpoint it.
We can't, we don't know, but we can support each other whatever life challenge that we go through.
Yeah.
We can support each other. We can have compassion. So my message to them would be, once you have gotten in touch with counseling, maybe not in the hospital, maybe you have a family member where you get your support from, but get your support, hold on to it, and let your faith take you, because everybody believes in so many different things, and I learned I've been in this cancer bubble for 2.5 years, and I just realized people believe different things.
Yeah.
And they share their faith in different things. There's a lady that walked down at USC and just gave me a beautiful blanket that just had believe in pink all over it, and I broke down.
Wow.
So that was her way of healing me in a certain way.
That support.
And she said I gave her strength because I lost all my hair, and I was walking around very proud.
Wow.
Some of it's come back, but just to stay strong and believe in God and just explore all of your options. Because if they can get a man to the moon and all this, and talking about digging tunnels in California where we have earthquakes, that's another subject. Believe in your faith and follow what you believe in, what gives you comfort.
Yeah.
And it just helps to be on that level, to believe it when you know you have Obamacare.
Right. Right on. So, I really have to say that I really admire your strength and your resilience and coming out of that and still taking on life's challenges and still claiming life.
Yes.
I think that a lot of us we don't allow the process to transform us or change us. The moment that you accepted that you had it, you went through all the necessary steps, and you came out of it. And I think that every case of success is a story worth telling.
Yeah.
So I really appreciate you opening up and sharing that with us.
You're welcome.
But yeah, so is there anything else you would like to let us know?
Wow, how much more time do we have?
I mean, we got some time.
Just regarding finding out that something is not what we think it should be in our body, let's not be afraid to go just get it checked out.
Right.
Let's even if we have to use somebody else's name but go, and at least if you're not feeling well, if you have a headache too long, just go and be strong enough.
Yeah.
And not be afraid, because we can't live in fear. That's what I learned. I literally had to put my blinders on and said, okay, what do I need to do? Literally, I had my kids pointing me in the direction I had to go, but that was my support team.
Right.
And regardless of what the doctor says, still follow your dreams, because I told my producer, okay, I don't know what the outcome is going to be, but I got to finish this song.
And you did.
And I did.
I can't wait to see the video.
The video's going to be off the chain.
Now, do you already have an idea of how it's going to look?
I some more ideas came. I wanted to showcase some of the pictures that I went before my life, during my treatment, and then before and after, and then I ran into a couple of friends from elementary and high school, and I played the song for them on my phone. So maybe kind of capturing a piece of that, and just to say, we got to keep fighting.
Yeah.
We still have so far to go.
Wow.
Can I ask you, though,
Yes.
When they first gave you that diagnosis,
Yes.
did it turn your whole world?
I died that day. So I would say that was my first death. Because again, I was going in to have my tonsils removed. And so when the doctor came in, and that was very, very interesting, because I had been seeing this doctor for almost 20 years, my ENT doctor. And I know his routine. He comes in, he says, how you doing? He goes to wash his hands, he dries them. How are you doing? How's your day? Then he picks up the chart. How you doing? We're kind of getting an update on the family, and then he'll sit down and examine me. This particular day, he walked in with an envelope and just stood there, and so I was like, oh, what's wrong?
Right.
And he says, you're going to be okay. It's cancer, and we're going to take care of it. And I just went into orbit.
Because you totally were
I
not
was like, cancer?
That was farthest from your mind, right?
And before I got home, so I literally left there. I stayed there for a minute till I was able to compose myself and started driving home. I pulled over and called my sons and told them that we had to meet. Before I got to my house, my other doctor, my endocrinologist, called me and said, Rose, I am so sorry. I'm like, sorry for what? What you trying to say here? I'm like, wait a minute now. You supposed to say, I'm sorry, we gonna fix this, but you just like, I'm sorry, and that's it. I said, but that's my faith.
Yeah.
But that's my faith.
Yeah.
I mean, I could have said, oh, I know, doctor. I said, I'm sorry for whoa. I said, what do we need to do here?
Right.
So yes, I eventually broke down. But my first response was, you're sorry for what?
Right. You about moving forward,
So, but that was my faith, and I love those doctors because I believe they saved my life because they took an extra step.
Now this wasn't Huntington.
This was Huntington. This was Huntington, and then part was USC Pasadena,
right.
And then USC in Los Angeles is where I had my radiation therapy.
Keck?
Yes, Keck Hospital. Yes.
Nice.
And so the oncologist that I saw actually saved another woman's life and she has since passed away, but did extend her life about 6 years.
Wow.
So as it stands right now, I am between 85 and 90% cancer free. I still go to every 2 to 3 years. I have to go in for testing. I have to probably do for PET scan. One of the things that I am trying to divorce myself from is sugar and stress, because cancer loves sugar, cancer loves stress. What cancer doesn't like is kale, alkaline water, good sleep, good exercise, a good mindset, prayer.
Yeah. You got me reevaluating my own life over here.
And
I'm a coffee drinker.
Okay, well, have your coffee, but believe it's not going to kill you.
Yeah.
So I eventually was able to open up, and I went down to an altar call at my church, and I had just told my bishop that, the doctor told me, because I was totally lost, that I had cancer. And he said, this young lady, this sister just told us. And before he can finish the word, the R in cancer, it's like the whole congregation came down from the choir stand and prayed over me. And then there's a scripture that says that he will cover you in prayer. And when I looked up, I couldn't see anyone, and no one could see me because the whole church covered me. And I thank God. It's just a miracle what prayer can do.
Powerful.
And the key to that was because it was time for me to open up and share with others what I was going through.
Right. Very inspiring. It really is. It really is.
All glory to God.
Absolutely.
And you having a perfect attitude about it.
Yeah.
It's hard, but I have to.
You have to fight it every day.
Because if not, a person, no matter what it is, they can just fold. They can go in the house and fold.
Yeah, to make a break.
And tell you, I'm not going to tell I don't. Forget about being judged. You have to help, because I don't know who I'm helping. Hopefully I'm helping someone else to come out or to share. Because we shouldn't be alone, no matter what it is, whether we're having a baby, whether we're getting married, whether we're getting divorced, whether, we're trying to discipline our kids without, anyway.
Right.
So, we need each other. It's time for the community to really come back together and not judge and support.
Right.
Support each other.
Exactly.
Now, also, I would like to ask you, how do you feel being the niece of Jackie Robinson? I mean, what inspiration?
Let's see, I think I can say this. We still got butt whoopings. Daddy didn't make us feel any up or down or this or that. We still had to live life because there was still a fight for African Americans, for blacks, Negroes at that time to persevere. It was basically, this is your uncle. Like I said, I was 8 years old when he passed. So my older cousins is who I listened to because they were actually the ones in the stand and were going to the games. I came way after. I don't remember a young, Jackie with black hair. I remember Uncle Jackie's silver hair.
Right.
We've been to his home up in Connecticut. We went to Blair. I went to Blair High School, and there was a lot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I actually went over to the Pepper Street house, and I took a picture of it, and I posted it on the forum and on Facebook, right? And they said that was the lot, but not the same house.
Correct. Oh, the house has been gone for years, and the city, bless their hearts, put a plaque down just to say where. But the homes that are there. Those two homes was one of my grandmother's house. And see, I don't remember my grandmother because I was 3 years old when she passed away.
Oh, wow.
So I listened to, and I spent a lot of time with my older cousins who do remember, from there's still Robinsons and McGriffs in Cairo, Georgia, and McGriff is my grandmother's name.
Are you
Ma-
still amazed that people still remember and have Jackie Robinson legacy here in Pasadena?
I think that I am, but I think it's for some of it. I think it's not for the heart of who he really was. I think they see years now. Oh, it's a historical thing. Oh,
They
we
can exploit it.
we can do this, and oh, we can do that. Which, so I think some of it is for that, and then I think some of it is for the heart, because Uncle Jackie did grow up here.
Yeah.
He was born in Georgia, but
Migrated.
yes, my grandmother brought everyone here. I mean, I think it's wonderful what we're doing with the renovation of the park. I'm sorry, of the recreation center. Aunt Willa Mae, which was his only sister, played a big role in raising Uncle Jackie and helping out with the household because my grandmother had to work. So it's my dream and vision. I've told the committee that once the building is done, is that we do a kitchen, and there is going to be a kitchen, but the kitchen be Aunt Willa Mae's kitchen or Aunt Mally's kitchen,
Great.
because of what
Name it
my
after them.
my grandmother and what my aunt did. Because I want to show the community, ooh, it's not just Jackie Robinson. Ooh, no, we are the family actually can
Helped
played
make.
a major role in the community. We helped others as others has helped them as they were growing, but then my generation.
Right.
So realize that. Now I just had a birthday on Sunday. I'm
Happy belated.
Thank you. I'm 53. Uncle Jackie was 53 when he passed away. But I didn't play baseball. I didn't live 53 years ago or all that time ago and have all that stress on me. So it's just important for me to. That's one of the reasons why I'm on this committee, is to try to reconnect not just the youth in the community, but the youth to respect and be able to go out and help our senior citizens. There's nothing wrong with, we used to do caroling at the convalescent homes on Fair Oaks, or going to the homes. So all of that plays a role into what and who I am. And learning on Daddy's side, and then on my mom's side again in Georgia, just the struggle of my grandfather being a chauffeur to Pebble Hill Plantation, which was the dairy farm. So years ago on Jersey Made, I'm going to say maybe back in the 70s, in Jersey Made, there was a cow. And the cow had specific black marks, the white cow with the black marks. The cow that they picked to go on the Jersey Made carton was a cow that came from the plantation where my grandfather was the chauffeur.
Wow.
When that cow passed away, there is a special grave and a plaque for that cow at Pebble Hill Plantation.
Really?
In Thomas County, Georgia.
Wow.
And so I have 3 sons, and I made sure that we would go back every couple of years because I wanted them to not just, know what Uncle Jackie did in California, but what our family did back east or down south and moving forward.
Great. Now, how do you feel about Mr. Wilson brought up the initiative about having Washington?
Yeah, well, I didn't really want to bring that one up.
Well, actually, I just heard about it. No,
really?
I just read about it recently.
Yeah.
I think maybe the other day, but then I think maybe about 2 years ago, I read the same thing about Manchester, them wanting to do Manchester and Los Angeles.
Oh, yeah.
If that's what they want to do.
Well, I will.
I'm not. Go ahead.
Yeah, I will go as far to say as far as the Robinson Boulevard initiative is concerned, that was something that I started.
Oh.
Yeah, because after I seen the movie 42, I was really inspired by the life and career of Jackie Robinson. It really gave me an idea of who he was.
I want to break you there. And there's two other movies I want you to see. I don't know if you've seen the Jackie Robinson story
That he played, yes.
that he actually played. Now
Yes.
there's another movie that I want you to see. It's called The Court Martial of Jackie Robinson.
Oh, yeah, I got to see that.
Andre Brower. I love you, Andre. One day, I'll get your autograph. Andre Brower played Uncle Jackie when this is the time between UCLA and before he signed with the Dodgers.
Or the Montreal.
With the Dodgers.
Oh, okay.
So he actually was in the service down in, I believe it was Alabama, and Uncle Jackie and Joe Louis were best friends. Joe Louis helped Uncle Jackie tame his, I think all of us have a little bit of attitude and anger and this, that, and the other. But it is, when I saw this movie I think it came out in the late 90s, I had to call my Aunt Rachel, Uncle Jackie's wife. I said, Aunt Rachel, you guys really went through this? She said, yes. So this is a movie. It was a television special. So look up The Court Martial. It gave me a different perspective because he went through so much in the service.
Right.
Let me ask Don to write that down.
He went through so much, then that showed me, well, yeah, he can take everything once he signed with the Dodgers because he went through he was almost court-martialed.
Yeah.
So whatever they were saying in the stands, it's like, please,
Well, I done been
you
through
have
it.
no
Right.
idea what I just came through.
But you know what? In the movie 42, Branch Rickey, the owner of the Dodgers at the time, actually mentioned how he was court-martialed off. But the fact that he played at UCLA and was able to play with different ethnicities and stuff, that character is what,
The character has something, I think we go through stages. Something prepares us for something else.
Yeah.
We're born, then we have to learn how to sit up, crawl, and walk.
Right.
And so I believe once he got to the service and how he was treated, I don't want to give it away, but just watch The Court Martial of and Andre Brower played Uncle Jackie, and it was magnificent.
Oh, I got to check it out. What year did it come out? I guess a throwback?
Okay, you're going to have to look it up. I'm going to say the late 90s.
Okay. So it is in color. Because I know the one
Absolutely.
he played in was black and white.
Black and white.
And you know what? I couldn't believe that was him playing it.
Yeah.
I was like, he sounds like a nerd.
Yeah.
With all due respect.
Well, yeah, but the gentleman who played Daddy, I don't know his name, but we're like, Daddy, why didn't you play that role? And
well, he didn't play the brother, right?
He someone else played him, but Daddy could have played himself in the movie. He just chose not to.
Oh.
So, but the court martial, that to me, that showed me where he got his strength as a niece, younger niece. And how he was able to have those blinders up, like at the horse races. You got your blinders up, and I'm focused. I talked to Branch Rickey, and he went and got counsel from a pastor, and he was ready.
Yeah. So, do you do any work with the Jackie Robinson Foundation?
No, I don't. I am busy at the time raising, my sons are older, but I acknowledge it.
It's just mainly about preserving the legacy, right?
It's things are different when you're family. It's like we grew up, like I said, this is what Daddy did, ran track. Uncle Jackie did this. I have a cousin that down south, she was the first black doctor in Cairo, Georgia, like in the 80s, and so there's a lot of greatness. And I've spoke at Wilson Junior High School when my great niece was attending there, and I always encourage anyone I talk to, this is beautiful. I want you to dig into your family history and see where your greatness came from. Right. Because there's greatness everywhere. Right. Some is recognized and some isn't. Right. Some is put up for a reason so everybody can see, and then you have those that are behind the scenes.
Right.
So, Yeah, just I mean, I still get teary eyed when it's Dr. King's birthday,
Right, man. I mean,
when it comes around, you
right,
know. So it is um, it's it's pretty amazing.
no
It's
doubt.
pretty amazing to recognize where you're, no matter what's in your who is in your family, but you build from that.
Right.
You know, you say thank you, and you build from that.
And it's good to also know, like, the strengths of your ancestors so that, you can probably get an idea of what you have to bring it out of you.
Yes.
You know what I mean? A lot of us have hidden, skills and talents and potential
Mhm.
that we don't even know is there,
Right. Correct.
And that's a big point. Um but yeah, Ms. Robinson, I really want to try to keep it under an hour.
Oh.
but we can really
we can
talk.
always do it again.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
But before we close, is there like anywhere people can keep up with you?
I am just starting an Instagram.
Mhm.
So it's my Instagram
You'll be hashing out the
name.
name, right?
The name is rosemarysounds.com, and a website. So if you go to that website now, it'll just say coming soon.
Okay.
So my son's a graphics designer, and he's putting everything together. So literally, the song was copywritten in October. You know, I was able to get copies done of the song. You know, we had to go through the printing process and assembling everything
Right,
together. So
packaging.
it's very, very fresh,
Yeah.
right now. So the name may change in the very near future.
Okay.
But my other son is working on a YouTube, page. We're trying to get this video together. But then I have another project that I'm working on. The song is called No Time Wasted, and we can't waste any more time with
Wow.
whatever it is you want to do.
Right. The time is now.
And I wrote this song about 6 years ago. And so that was put on side when I, did
the
my
diagnosis.
went through the treatment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, we could probably look forward to that later in the year.
Yes, hopefully in a couple months.
Now
Yes.
the Obama song, we can play that in the interview.
Absolutely.
Oh yes, awesome. 'Cause,
Absolutely.
I really want.
It's copywritten,
Yeah.
and we've got pictures. I have some digital pictures. I'm going to have my son add some more pictures. I want to put the.
I really love this.
Thank you. Now that was a
my favorite.
Festival of Life. We USC every year does a Festival of Life, and they have all of their patients are invited back to say there was as many as people who were 20 years cancer free, 15 years cancer, 6 months cancer free. So we were all over the stadium outside. I was had a chance to talk to Dr. Art Uling. I don't know if you probably won't remember him, but Dr. Art Uling used to do the medical, like I think Dr. Sanjay does it on one of the radio TV stations. But Dr. Art Uling did the health report.
Just like Dr. Oz.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
but a short one on the news. 3 to 5 minutes or
Right.
something. And so that was a blessing, but that was at the my first one going, and I had on a green scarf because green is the lymphoma society, non-Hodgkin's lymphoma society.
So with that diagnosis that you had, it really made you look at life differently.
I look at everything. Yes, I look at.
Like you said, that first person died.
I think whatever that Rose was trying to do, it was like, wow, this could have been stage 4. This could have. So then that's why I had to sit down and say, what do I want to leave if I don't make it? What do I want to leave my kids?
Right.
And all I can think about was my music. I wrote songs when I was in high school, songs that we did in my band back in the days. And that's what I want to leave them. Even today, tomorrow's not promised.
Right.
So it was important for me to do this Obama song and then dig in, and I'm working on my other songs that I wrote years ago, a new song.
Nice.
To leave something for them to remember me.
And what I love about the song is just it's straight to the point.
Yes.
And very inspirational.
Yes.
I love it.
Yes.
Those concrete lyrics.
Yes. And so at the Black History Parade, I'm hoping to have additional CDs. And actually, I believe through my Instagram, you can hear it on SoundCloud. Now, I'm learning about all this technical stuff.
You're talking my language.
But SoundCloud, if you know SoundCloud, then you can go on SoundCloud and you can listen to it. You can listen to the song, and so as we were naming the song, my producer's like, what is the name of the song? He's like, "Thank you, Mr. President." I said, "No, it has to say, thank you, President Obama." It has to say, "Thank you, President Obama."
And that's the formal title of the song.
That is the title of the song. "Thank you, President Obama." Thank you for Obamacare. Because you cared, I'm here. Because of your precious heart, you were able to see right from the start. Thank you for all you've done for me. Because of your care, I'm here.
And that's what angers me so much when I hear a lot of African Americans say, "Oh, President Obama didn't do anything." Hey, what are you talking about? If you sit back and do your research, you'll see what he has done.
And not only that, now you get up and do something.
That's right.
We always want to sit back. Oh, what is so-and-so going to do? Okay, well, this is what he did. So now we got to get up and do our part.
Right. And you know, today is the deadline. Either midnight tonight about the California care.
So from what I understand, it was yesterday. But if you started your application yesterday, you were given an additional 4 days to complete it because they are bombarded with applications. So I have, family members and people I was trying to, help them on picking out a plan that is good for them and for what they need. And, and I had mentioned to someone that it's really, all of this could end if once you get hired, permanent or temporary, full-time or part-time, you have coverage immediately because there's so many things going around that it's not going to hurt.
Right.
It hurts not to have it because even though while I was waiting, I didn't know I was putting my body under the stress it was going under, but I found out and I was able to get immediate and really good care. Thank you to Keck Hospital, USC. My doctor, Dr. Mark McNamara. I'm going to give him shouts.
Yeah, this is actually the shout-out period. So.
Yes, my ENT doctor, Dr. Everard Williams, who caught several things, and I believe without him, he saved my life. So, Dr. Williams, we're family. I love you. Thank you. And Mrs. Williams. And referring me over to Dr. Mark McNamara and my endocrinologist, Dr. Charles Sharp, all of them associated with Huntington and Keck Hospital, who basically their life is dedicated to help preserve and save our lives. I think that everyone, when you do go to the doctor, get your thyroid level checked. It's going to help. Just know where you are, know where your numbers are, and we can adjust. I was just looking at a girlfriend's from high school, her Facebook page, and she just said 5 years soda free. So I don't know what her challenge was, but hey, I put a like on there.
Yeah.
I'm happy for her.
Yeah, no, that's major. 5 years soda free? Can't go 5 days soda free.
Well, I won't say anything about that.
But you had to change your whole diet and everything?
It wasn't so much changing my diet. I lost my taste buds changed because because of the treatment. So chemo, I had 3 rounds of chemo. You go for 8 hours, and then you go back in, I think it was like 2.5 weeks later, or maybe 3 weeks later for a second round. So for me, I'm just going to describe it in motor oil. It's thick that goes in. It has to go through all of your whole blood vessel system, your organs, everything, your whole system. and I actually still have a little line in my nail that's black, and the doctors was telling me that's the chemo leaving. So some people that have had different forms of cancer, when they get radiation, their tongue may turn black, their nail beds may turn black. So mine didn't turn black, but I could just see a line where it's leaving even 2.5 years later, because it does take time for it to leave. But with that, the doctor asked me, what are you most concerned about? He didn't use the word afraid. He said, what are you most concerned about? I said, I cannot be nauseated. So, because the medicine that I took, and that's another thing that I think is very, very important. When people they want to do all these cancer commercials, it's going to help the next person if you specify the details of your cancer, because there's cancers.
Right.
There's not one
Right,
cancer.
right.
So if you say your cancer and the details, maybe you can help someone in their decision. So with mine, and because the treatment and the medication is tailored to my height, my size, I'm African American,
Right.
I'm black, I'm Negro, all of that.
All of that comes into play.
Got a little bit of Indian in me, all of that. And so that balance of the medication tailored my taste buds. So a lot of stuff, like I could literally walk into a grocery store and I can smell the sugar in the whole store.
Oh, really?
I became so sensitive. I was like, oh my gosh, I don't even want to go down the cookie aisle and the and so a lot of times I couldn't shop. It was just, maybe it was a psychological thing, but my taste buds changed. And then I had to see, then I wasn't eating. And it's like, okay, you have to eat something. So then I started with soup. If it was chicken soup, I take out the chicken and I take out the noodles and I would just have the broth. But that was for my makeup, my biological makeup.
That's what worked for you.
That's what worked for me. At the same time, I had to learn that some chicken that you buy at whatever grocery store have antibiotics and some don't. Chickens don't have the antibiotics that you can buy. I could taste the difference.
Wow.
When I went through radiation, before my session, my 3-minute session was over, my mouth was so dry. So I couldn't just drink my Sparkletts water that I drank before. Shout out to Sparkletts. Sparkletts water. So I was suggested that I drink an alkaline water, which I get from Trader Joe's. Shout out to Trader Joe's, because they have the electrolytes in it, and it's perfect for me. Some people don't like alkaline water, and they're good with whatever water they drink, but it did change my
Chemical balance.
in my appetite.
Hold on. We gotta wrap it. It's been very awesome having you here for this exclusive interview, Miss Rose Robinson.
Thank you.
We're gonna go ahead and cut out. We're gonna play this awesome song, "Thank You, President Obama," by Rose Robinson.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Wilson Block 100 Radio. We out.
We out.
Mr. President, thank you for Obamacare. Because of your care, I'm here. Obamacare shows you care. You pave the way so I can say thank you for all the love you gave. Because of your care, I'm here. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you for the bill you sent. Thank you for